You ever see a man walk into a diner with nothing but hope in his eyes and a few coins in his pocket? Stick around, because by the end of this story, you'll believe in second chances again. And hey, if this one touches your heart even a little, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share it, because someone out there needs to hear this one tonight. It was Friday night in a small Midwest town. The neon lights from Maggie's Diner flickered against the rain-soaked asphalt as Jack Morgan, a single dad and Army veteran, checked his wallet one last time before stepping inside. $3.75. That was it. 3 crumpled dollar bills and 3/4 jingling like ghosts of better days. He hadn't been on a date in years, not since his wife passed, not since life got heavy and quiet. But tonight, his daughter Emma had insisted. "Dad, you deserve to smile again," she'd said, pinning a crooked paper flower to his jacket. "Mom would want you to." So here he was, nervous, broke, and late for a blind date a buddy from the VA had set up. He tried to straighten his collar, the kind that never quite sat right anymore, and walked into the diner with the shy kind of confidence that comes from pure determination. At the back booth sat a woman with soft eyes and a smile that looked nervous, too. Her name was Grace, a kindergarten teacher, gentle and kind. She didn't seem to notice the worn edges on Jack's jacket or the old army boots that had seen more dirt than comfort. For the first time in a long while, Jack felt like maybe, just maybe, he could belong somewhere again. But life doesn't wait long to test a man. Halfway through the date, Jack's hand brushed against his pocket, and his heart sank. He realized the diner didn't take cards, cash only. He glanced at the check already sitting on the table, $8.50. His chest tightened. Grace was laughing about something, her voice soft and musical, but all he could think about was the 3 bills and some change in his wallet. Across the diner, a woman watched. She had jet black hair, tattoos swirling up her arms, and a leather jacket that practically announced, "Don't mess with me." Her name was Lena Cross, known around town as the wild biker Heiress, the daughter of the man who owned the biggest motorcycle company in the state. People said she never smiled, never trusted, and never stayed. But right then, as she watched Jack nervously count coins in his hand under the table, something in her froze. There was something in the way he carried himself, quiet, humble, proud despite everything, that hit her harder than she expected. The waitress came by with the check, and Jack tried to explain quietly, his voice shaking, I think I miscalculated. I'll have to step out and grab my card from the truck." Grace looked down, clearly uncomfortable, but before she could speak, Lena stood up. She walked over, boots clicking on tile, eyes steady as storm clouds. "Hey, sweetheart," she said to the waitress, dropping a $50 on the table. "Keep the change." Then she looked at Jack. "You served." He nodded, stunned. "Army. 12 years. She just gave a short nod. "Figures. Only soldiers look that worried over $3. Jack's face burned red with embarrassment. "You didn't have to do that." "I know," she said simply. "But I wanted to." Grace excused herself soon after. The date had lost its spark. But Lena didn't leave. She pulled up a chair. "You got a minute, soldier?" They talked. For hours. About scars, about losing people, about trying to raise a kid when you don't even know how to raise yourself anymore. She told him about her dad, how he'd built an empire of engines and noise but never had time for love. She inherited his company but hated every polished fake face that came with it. "Everyone wants something," she said. "Money makes people forget how to be real." Jack smiled sadly. "Yeah, but sometimes, being broke reminds you how to be human." When the diner lights dimmed, they stepped outside. Rain had stopped. The world smelled like wet earth and promise. Lena leaned against her Harley, the chrome glistening under the neon sign. "Ever ridden one of these?" she asked. Jack laughed. "Only in my dreams." She tossed him a helmet. "Then tonight, dream for real." The engine roared to life, and for the first time in years, Jack felt wind rush against his face without the weight of fear behind it. They rode through the empty streets, headlights slicing through the night. Over the next few weeks, Lena kept showing up, sometimes at the diner, sometimes at his kids' school events, sometimes just to drop off groceries with no explanation. Jack tried to tell her he didn't need charity, but she'd just grin and say, "Good." Then it's not charity, it's company. One evening, Emma ran out to hug her. Miss Lena, are you my dad's friend? Lena knelt, her tattoos shining under the porch light. Something like that, kiddo. Maybe a little more. Months passed, and what started as a chance meeting turned into something deeper, a friendship that healed both their broken parts. Lena taught Jack how to live again. Jack showed her what loyalty really looked like. And Emma, she got her laughter back. Then one day, Lena showed up at his door, grease on her hands and tears in her eyes. My father's gone, she said. He left me everything. The company, the money, but none of it feels real. Jack took her hands. Then make it real. Use it to help people who don't have anyone. So she did. She opened a veterans training center, funded scholarships, and gave jobs to those who'd been forgotten. And through it all, Jack stood by her, not as the man who only had $3.75 once, but as the man who reminded her that love isn't about what you have. It's about what you give when you have nothing left. Years later, people still talked about that night in the diner, the biker heiress and the broke soldier who changed each other's worlds with a single act of kindness. And if you're still watching this, maybe it's your reminder that no matter how small your start, life has a way of finding beauty in broken places.